You know what, guys? Let's get right into it today. Why mess around? I think you know what I mean. It's
Rob and John show. The Rob and John show.
I played that wrong.
This is the wrong way to go.
This is the wrong.
I'm just going to give you a warning. This is not what you want to do.
The wrong intro. Well, that's my bad. And now you say that, it wishes I would have maybe picked some other parody songs for the next 2 episodes. All right, let's get into it. In 2020,
maybe you wish you would have actually taken Russell's notes and done a best of show with his notes.
Just doubles down. Maybe you wish you listened to your mom 30 years ago. Not everything is a joke. Oops, I started too soon.
I started playing that song and I saw 3 very stern faces looking back at me. Okay. You guys ever think about all the work I had to do?
I'm pretty sure Rob just deep dicked our podcast on us last week without us knowing about it. I think that was my impression.
If you look at the numbers of downloads, not many people heard that episode, so I wouldn't worry too much about it.
And let's just say this. Let's just get out of the way. Russell, Aaron, we cannot show Rob the side text that we had.
Oh, no.
When we figured out that came out. Do not show Rob the side
goes
text.
To our grave.
Do I have to take the picture down on the dartboard or no?
I'm changing my phone number and burying my phone. And I asked Verizon. I did the double extra delete of my data.
So last week I did what I thought would be some fun gift, because you know what I wish I could do sometime? Listen to my podcast and be surprised by it. I can never. It's like Pandora's. No, it's like Schrodinger's cat. I can know how funny the podcast is, or I can listen to the podcast, but I can never do both.
Rob, here's a hint for you.
What's
that?
You
called it. It's our podcast.
When did I say not our podcast?
You just said it's my podcast. I want to listen to it's our
podcast. Well, I can't listen to our podcast either. See, I am listening. Okay, I'm working on it. Actually, John was really good for that. He helped me out a lot.
As you guys, apologies go. This is Clinton-esque. Depends on what the version of it is. I did not deep dick our podcast.
I categorically deny.
Okay. Listen, this is requiring us to get to the parody song right away. I think we're asking a lot of questions that the parody song is going to answer. Oh. In 2020, 4 friends decided to listen to every one of the greatest 500 albums as decided by Rolling Stone magazine. This resulted in a text chain that celebrated music, excoriated the order, and led us to making this podcast. You know, it never occurred to me to not play the Rob and John show right away as a joke. It never even flashed through my brain that might be.
Oh, yeah, we know.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I don't like this where you guys are making me look like a sociopath. Although it would line up with a lot of things actually in my life.
Just now that I think about it a little bit.
Yeah. Like, why have I had so many coworkers in the last 2 years who work directly with me and they keep quitting every year after year? That's so strange. My marriage has been kind of just slowly going downhill. I'm like, I wonder what's changed with her. Yep. Guys, I'll tell you what, though, if I'm going to be the narcissist, I'll be the best narcissist of all time.
Actually, technically, you'd be the second best narcissist. The first, Lex Luger. If you guys remember, the narcissist transformed into the All-American who took on Yokozuna but never won the title from him. But remember, he had a bus. It was called like the Lex Express. And he drove the bus all the way across the country in the early 90s. So he was the true narcissist.
That's beautiful.
I just need to go downtown. Can I take the Lex Local? Is that running right now?
Yes.
I got to transfer to the 5? Okay.
Yes.
Who would be the local? The local would be like Bob Backlund. The Bob Backlund local.
Wow. Stu Hansen.
Stopping everywhere.
I believe he goes by Stan Hansen.
Yeah, you're right.
We are far from experts.
Dodge dealer.
What?
Okay. What now, Aaron?
Dodge, Iowa?
I got Stu Hansen and Stan Hansen confused. Stu Hansen was Stu Hansen's Dodge City. Stu Hansen's Dodge City, a smart place to go for your future. Yeah, but I was thinking of Stan Hansen.
I think the most famous whatever is Eastern Motors. You guys remember the Eastern Motors commercials? They're like the Out East commercials, and it's got like Carmelo Anthony and all like NBA players rapping about Eastern Motors, where your job's your credit. You guys haven't heard that one?
No.
We'll pull it up. We'll pull it up at the end of the show, Rob. I'll remember it.
I got to hear that.
At Eastern Motors, your job's your credit.
I did some consulting for, who was it? I want to say Dennis Heckersley, but that's not the right name. Russ, what's the joke I'm trying to make? I consulted for a guy.
Denny Hecker.
Denny Hecker. Yeah. I gave him some advice. Did not go well.
No.
Okay. So you know what? I'm putting that on the board.
If we're doing Denny Hecker fraud jokes, this is like really inside baseball.
It's real. Yeah, it's real niche.
Look it up. It's so good.
Magic Mike is saying, what in the hell?
Are you now? I just won't. I was like calling the Star Tribune. I was like, are you now? You're saying that somebody who makes a living selling used cars is dishonest? I will not stand for this, sir. Okay, I will not stand for this. That's outrageous. Okay, turns out all of our 90 people that downloaded the Rob and John show are car dealers. We are far from experts. We promise to do almost no research. All opinions are our own unless you disagree. Please sit back and enjoy. Beck did it better. We are all the way up to album 182. Guys, that feels like we're getting somewhere.
Lord knows where we are. It's right. Whiplash.
We have an album that your elderly neighbor definitely got laid to. It's Sweet Baby James by James Taylor.
Imagine what the old lady who lives down the street from us is thinking while she's using my upstairs roommate's blender that she stole.
Oh my God.
Just thinking about back in her days with James Taylor.
I was gonna say, like, I'm pretty sure, Rosie, your parents listen to this. I'm pretty sure my parents did. So now Rob just insulted all of our parents, calling them elderly.
Oh,
so.
boy,
Yeah,
here
it's
we
weird,
go.
right? Jeez, my parents aren't even 70 yet.
My parents' favorite band is LMFAO. They're always party rocking. In my way of an apology, can I just say, here is my apology to you guys. Okay. I went out and I tried some stuff and it turns out it was fun. Okay. I'm just going to say that. I did have a good time. All right. There were some things that were nice about it. All right. Okay. But I realized, okay, there's no place like home. So I'm back. Okay. So please just accept me and don't worry about it.
Rob, just for the record, you are going to have to wear a condom for all episodes going forward now.
Yep.
That's so weird because he said no.
Do not know where John from Edina has been.
No, we don't. Okay. And I'll tell you what, you should hear what I had to edit out at the end. I'll play you the raw files sometimes.
No, that's
what
all
he
right.
thinks happens after the show. I said, John, tell a joke. And he told 3 of the jokes that made my hair stand up. I was like, are you serious? I can't use any of these jokes in the podcast. Forget about it. Anyway, you know what? I'm so bored. Let's turn on this crank radio. And
you're bored already? Oh, you're bored of
up.
us. Maybe you got to go out and entertain yourself. Oh, I'm so sorry you're bored.
Rob just had a deep exhale. Did you see, Rob? He just did like a deep exhale.
Yeah, this is going to be rough. I can already tell, okay? The gang's against me, but I got to ask, what would Michael Jackson in the subway station do? Okay? And he would dance his way out of the gang fight. All right? Immediately hit with a bottle. Oh, no. All right, here we go. Let's turn on the radio. What's up, everybody? Welcome to K-Rob, K-R-O-B. You know, sometimes you don't realize what you have until you don't have it, but now it's back. Oh, yeah. Last Tuesday morning, there was a podcast with John.
Yep.
Suzanne couldn't make it, but she wanted to.
I love it. Got to get to Suzanne.
When we were done recording, John said, I know what was wrong. There was no air in here to laugh at you. Recording without Aaron is kind of lame. There was no one here talking about their breakfast this weekend. Turns out on Aaron's laughter is what I depend. But it was nice to record at 6:30 p.m. When I talked about people doing 69, it sounded kind of bland. I couldn't make fun of anything John had to say. I need someone on here who can laugh at my jokes on demand. Plus, I can't imagine what Aaron would order at Burger King.
4 cheeseburgers.
Recording without Aaron is kind of lame. I can't wait to hear about his favorite coffee blend.
I'm a single origin
And
guy.
I never want to leave behind a friend. Next time I'll do Rob and John and Aaron.
No, what am I feeling? No. I'm not sure if that's helping.
Man, so is this what you decided to... I know, so Rob kind of had these comments, but it was really tough. He goes, some of the texts I saw this week were, it was really tough doing a two-person show, and it was really hard doing it without Aaron. We needed Aaron to make it good. And I was like, Matt, what have we ever done wrong in this world?
As I told Yoko, as I told him, I said, I have been pushing for years now to have him fill in for me, and he can just take over my spot. But again, Russell.
Yep.
I mean, even Aaron, you got a laugh track for Aaron. Rob, go ahead, play the laugh track.
It's right there.
You
got it right there.
I deleted it.
The fact that you're cutting out Russell of all people, the Russell,
the progenitor,
the guy who makes this thing run,
the father of the podcast.
Yeah.
It's
insulting.
Okay, so last week, I honestly thought you guys would enjoy a podcast that was like, I don't know, a parody of the podcast, kind of. Okay. And it turns out, I'm serious, it was hard to do. Okay. I'm not lying. I miss each and every one of you guys.
You got a rough life, Rob.
Very difficult.
It's not easy. It's not easy to be
okay.
I salute. We salute you. Yeah, we salute you over here.
Do you know what happens when you record at 6:30? Jenny hears what you're saying, and it turns out I'm saying a lot of stuff she does not agree with. Wife swap what? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, wait for my kid to walk around. I think she can hear you,
the same look Jenny does.
It's
true. It's the same look.
Tell me about it.
I don't like it.
Oh, it's terrifying. So listen, guys. I'm so happy to have you back. Okay. I'm sorry I did that podcast. Really, they are grouchy about it. They are not. These people, they don't appreciate. I mean,
I'm not worried. I didn't listen to it.
Ram was a good album. Okay. I'm going to say that. Ram was a good album. Do you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you can just kind of do a thing and come back and it's actually fine.
Ram is pretty good. That's true.
I do appreciate you guys did do a good job. You did give me a shout out when you called back. You guys talked about, what's the Humpty Dance? Yeah. And you did talk about when I brought that song up on the list once on this podcast before, right?
Oh God.
I didn't do a lot of research. Okay.
Just digging himself a bigger hole. Oh my God.
Why did you bring up the Humpty Dance again, Russell?
We don't need to bring it up now. I figured you guys would cover it in like an extended episode.
I'm guessing, Rob, Russell, you've got your copious note. You could probably tell us right now, right? I mean, within like 13 seconds, you could tell us.
Which episode?
Because you keep copious notes. And, like if we ever needed like a best of, I mean, you list out, oh, this will probably be good for the best of before we go to any of the notes, right? On all episodes.
Listen, Rob just found it back to Rob found it right in front of her face.
It turns out it was a quick Google search.
The Clash songs, when we did that Clash album, God, I remember going over the Humpty Dance, Russell, for sure. Okay,
that's the Humpty Dance on the Clash. That's brilliant.
That is wild, by the way. That would have been my last guess.
I can't whatsoever. Yeah, that's genius.
Guys. I love you. You know that. I'm happy you're back. Okay. I am sorry. I honestly thought you would kind of be thrilled. I texted you. I said, I think John's going to really like this best of. I think it would be fun. I thought it would be a fun thing. You guys are, I was going to say wrong, but I realized that's not what I'm going for. You are right. Okay. To be mad at me. I apologize.
The dumbest of the dumb.
Okay. I cannot promise I won't do it again though, because
it makes for good content.
It was very hard to record without you guys. I realized that I should not be talking as much as I do because I was like, John and I would just get done talking. We'd look at each other and be like,
we feel for you, Rob. And we're here. We're here tonight.
I am so happy. I told you guys, I texted you guys. What did I text you guys today? I said, I'm psyched to see you guys tonight. I said, I'm very excited. I did. I got hyped. Felt like a mini Vegas trip kind of.
How many responses did you get back to that text?
I was in.
I didn't look.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did. I was in.
I didn't look.
When I responded.
Okay. I'm not, guys, I'm trying. Okay. I'm trying to be a better person. It's tough though. I've got 3 guys here who will finally quit asking me, when will there be a version of Oh Susanna on this list? Guys, tonight's the night.
Did it. Made it.
Okay. Tonight is the night. Definitely not a guy with a drug problem coming up with the album songs for this album. He's like, I don't know. Oh, Susanna, I got to get out of here. I'm busy. I've got Matt in Minneapolis. Matt, okay, and let's put a smile on your face. How are we doing tonight, Matt?
Oh, just great, Rob. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you letting us partake tonight. It was really nice of you.
Ooh, this is chilly.
As if the first 3.5 years of us spending 3 hours a weekend together wasn't enough to confirm our commitment, Rob, huh?
I was here. I was
Look
available.
at Rob's score.
I'd like to point that out. I've got Russell in Minneapolis. Russell, how are you doing tonight?
Guys, I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend, but I always thought I'd record this podcast again.
Oh,
until Rob replaced Aaron, Matt, and I with John last week.
You know what? John kind of replaced me, and I replaced you guys. Does that make you feel better? It's when I started, I was like, this might be better. And then I ended, I was like, that was not better. I should not have said
I don't think
that.
it matters who's on top and who's on bottom here. It just feels like...
I don't know. If you walked in, Aaron, it might matter. You can't unsee certain things.
Honey, I just want to say to you, you cheated on me with Rob, and that hurts. But the position I found you in is what really hurts, honestly. I did not like the way I came in and found that. Yeah. Not great.
Not.
I felt like Anthony Mason.
Staring deep into your asshole. Oh.
Gross.
You got a story to tell.
Yep. I had a camera and a mirror all set up.
Oh.
Listen, I've got Aaron out in California now. Aaron unfortunately couldn't make it last week because he was in a little bit of trouble because his kid burned down part of the school he goes to. He burned down part of the school. Aaron heard about it, ran there, came to the school. You know, the cops had the kid, and the cops turned to Aaron and go, well, it was arson. And Aaron goes, oh, thank God. I thought it was mine.
That's a good joke.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Like, I hope we're not giving you a steamroller tonight. I'm not sure. I struggled with this one. Let's talk about James Taylor.
That sounds gross.
And now the bit I have for voicemail also seems to be very bad after what we just went through.
No.
What we just went through. This is,
Well, I assume this hurts you as much as it hurts me.
I have a prediction of what this will be. I'm going to write it down.
All right, here we go. It's actually, it's a bit of a two-parter. It's a bit of a two-parter. So I got this picture on the back line.
My stalking game is off by a month.
And it is Magic Mike writing in saying my stalking game is off by a month. He is at the Carnival Court.
He's at Carnival Court.
He is at the Carnival Court right now.
That is awesome.
That's the best photo of Carnival Court I've ever seen.
It makes Carnival Court look exactly what it looks like, which is
gorgeous.
Like wonderful. Honestly, when he sent it to me, I was like, I wish I was there right now. I think I was at like my kid's middle school graduation or something. I was like, oh God, I'd love to be at Carnival Court right now. The memories.
There has to be like a 51% chance that he wasn't hanging out in Vegas or on the Strip, and he just went out of his way just to send us
just to go to Carnival Court. Yeah, like he walked like a mile. Mm-hmm. He was staying up at like New York. He's like, I'm gonna go.
He's a big sphere guy.
That's
so,
true,
I mean,
man.
it's a good mile away. So depending on.
That was my nickname in high school, unfortunately.
The big sphere guy?
Big sphere guy. It's a medical condition.
I suppose it's better than being the little sphere guy, right?
That's very true.
Yeah. Or the big little sphere guy. No, the big little sphere guy.
The big little sphere. Big and little. Russ, remember that joke from 2 weeks ago? God, we had a good time then.
Oh, we had a nice time.
This is... Russell, what would you do on a date like this where you're just getting blasted on all sides? Like, what do you do? Do you just like pretend like your computer got stolen and you drive away, or what? What
it's just going really bad, or what?
Yeah. What was did you ever have to make like a gracious exit? What was your move if you ever had to do that?
No, I always tried to have fun. I had friends who have told me about how they've done like the fake phone call, that they've left dates, they've walked out on people. I would never do that. I try to make the most of it. Except for the one lady when she kept asking me about German spousal support laws. That one got a little weird.
Whoa, is that real?
Yes.
No. Russell.
That is a story we have not heard yet.
Yes. Russell, what? Ich bin ein Husband.
We went and got brunch at Lush, which is kind of a cool, it's like they do like drag bingo and stuff like that, but we went and got brunch there. And immediately, like within 5 minutes, we could just tell she wasn't into me and there was no connection. And she knew I was an attorney, and we got like 5-10 minutes in, and she immediately started asking me about what I thought was fair compensation for people who have been divorced and lived in Germany for a while. And so she had lived with her ex-husband in Germany. And so we talked about how I didn't know anything about German spousal support laws for about 40 minutes before the date ended.
Wow.
It was one of the few dates where we walked out and we both just kind of said, there was like not even like a handshake. There was like a nothing. It was just like a both walked the other way.
Well, at that point, like unless he, I mean, this was I don't know how long ago this was in your life, Russell. Like at least 1 to 2 weeks ago.
Probably it had to be more than 8 to 9 months ago. That's all I know.
You probably weren't going to like call another date at that moment, right? So your choices were like hang out, see how this goes. I'm out. Maybe the food and drinks are good, so you're going to stick with it. Because your other option is like call it and then what?
Do you have the audacity to think that I never had more than one online date in the same day?
Oh no, I know you did, but it does require some planning to make it happen. No. Yes. Of course. But I'm saying
really
like,
did?
You couldn't necessarily have done it like on the, like, oh, this one's not going well. I'm going to just hook up another one. You know,
you would plan more than one in a day, Russell. Isn't that like?
Didn't I tell you guys the one time where I used to have the notes and I would keep it in my my
first one takes off,
visor?
next one land. Flight leaves at 9. My game just rewind. Like that's how Russell does it.
We might need to delete all this.
Let me get a CD down from your visor. No, don't look up there. What's this? Lisa equals big boobs.
No.
What kind of notes are these?
No. Moving it along. Did you play your parody yet?
Yes, I did, and it was very good, and everybody loved it. We're on to our second voicemail.
Very flattering to me. It wasn't the best for the...
So our second voicemail comes in form of a... podcast review. We got our podcast review, and it is a 2-star. It is not good. We got our first truly negative podcast review.
Hold on. Is that like Michelin stars where 2 is like pretty good?
I think so.
Like getting a star at all is like, hey, you did the thing. And
I know. I think like 1 is the lowest. I think you have to go 1. You can't go 0 on this status. Listen. Okay.
Let's hear it.
2 stars. From somebody, by the way, I tried to friend on Instagram from the account, so we'll see if he responds because I want to see what he says about this.
It's better
now,
than
I have to say this. This review doesn't make me mad. When I first read it, of course, I was furious. Okay, I was flat out furious. I don't want any feedback. How dare somebody criticize what I do unless you're actually friends, and then it's just kind of we can josh each other. It's fun. But I have to say, I have to respect what this guy says. From this guy, 2 stars, not what I wanted. Oh. I was searching for Portishead as a fan, and I hope this would be a deep dive analysis of Dummy. So I'll tell you right.
Wasn't it? We did 45 minutes on the album minimum. Like, how many deeper dives are you going to find than that?
I will get into it. I think I figured out
right there.
I think I figured out why he's mad though when I listened to the episode because he does bring up some valid points in these next parts.
Oh, dang.
Okay. It was the exact opposite.
All right. Okay.
So it is the exact opposite of a deep dive analysis. Oh, you don't think me writing down 3 points off Wikipedia into my Google Keep counts as deep dive? Excuse me. Okay.
Pretty sure we warned people right away, right?
It's right there in the.
It's right there. And this is wild. 45 minutes of unlistenable drivel. He listened for 45 minutes.
I'm sorry. I don't want to do this.
It wasn't
I don't want to do this, but I don't think he spelled drivel right. I don't think drivel is spelled correctly there.
Technically, from our notes, too, it was 48 minutes of unlistenable drivel.
God, you pulled it up quick, Russell. Why did you pull that up so quick?
Russell,
that is like a whole catalog of this
Russell,
stuff.
can I just say, I love it when you pull up those notes like that. It fills me full of joy.
We do way more drivel now than we used to.
Oh, what? Just because
we're doing I'm glad you like it, Rob, because Russell shouldn't be doing notes any longer because clearly nobody uses them ever.
That punishes all of us.
Straight in the garbage.
Well, here, listen.
That's an hour of your life you're not going to get back, Russell.
Then you sound like Nate. You sound like Nate here on the review. Then when they finally got into the album, they admitted they'd never heard of it and had no idea what it was all about.
What does he expect?
I think being honest is good. Like, we didn't pretend we were Portishead fans, and we were like, this is new to us. Well, but we gave it an honest listen.
We did call it the best Portishead podcast. So
yeah,
so kind of did imply.
He hated our conversation. He listened for 45 minutes. Okay. He then listened to our review of the album, realized we didn't do anything, and then listened to his next part. I just read the premise of the show after the fact and now realize why they were so lost. Yeah, it's right there. Okay, it's right there. I did appreciate their minimal research. I learned a thing or two between all the nonsense. Okay. Thank you. That's actually the sweetest thing anybody's ever said.
How is that a 2-star review if you learned something?
I was going to say, that's about all we've ever promised, right? Just learn a little couple things.
I mean,
That's
this
a
guy
5-star review right there.
This guy doesn't.
And I'm pretty sure this is how Magic Mike started too, because he sent in like a bunch of.
He was like, these guys know nothing about
guys.
Correct.
Hey, Magic Mike, guess what? You're out. Okay. Now I'm trying to woo this guy. I want people who don't want me. Okay. Now
Magic
you want
Mike
me too
is
bad.
never out. He's on the Mount Rushmore.
Okay. There's Mike. I'm making some changes around here. Okay, so let me know if you want to do a podcast together.
Is there anything good in the review, Rob, or not?
Yeah.
I would never listen again. He says.
Props to them for trying, I guess, but I would never listen to again, even for my favorite albums on the Rolling Stone 500. Now, I got to say, if you are looking up Portishead Dummy, what other albums are you listening to on the Rolling Stone Top 500? Like, that's crazy to me. So, guys, you know that I had to do my research. I listened to that Portishead album, and I'm now going to play for you tonight's first list of the top funniest moments from the first 45 minutes of unlistenable drivel from our Portishead episode.
Okay. Just for this writer, here's the first line of our writer.
Okay.
For all you lot lizards out there, it could be sweet if you downloaded this week's episode about Portishead and the 131st greatest album of all time, Dummy. You don't need to be a double D long haul trucker license to ride these roads.
See?
That's what the guy read is like, this is what I need to
He's
listen
like,
to.
this has got to be it.
He did like my story about how the school bus driver on my middle school trip told me about lot lizards. His favorite part is that when they got in the truck, they would do anything. Like, that's what he told me verbatim was his favorite part of being a trucker. I was like, I get it.
Could you imagine him just like sitting there getting pissed, listening to that and be like, I need more Portishead.
Lot lizards aren't even on the top 5. Okay. The top 5 funniest parts. So let's listen. Here's the 5th funniest part from our episode of February 21st, 2023, episode 131, Portishead Dummy. Beck did it better. We are all the way up to album 131. And that's a palindrome, my friend. Okay. Thanks a lot, Obama, for all those palindrome strikes. Boob. They went and said a boom. Okay. That's an English joke / kind of a
zero res. Get your carpet cleaned by zero res.
We're up to album 131.
Spells backwards and forwards.
You listen to that to start the album and you're not happy.
I mean, it's good stuff.
You said boobs.
What is
Who
your
doesn't
problem?
like an album that starts out with boobs?
Palindrome, thanks a lot, Obama. I mean, that is good. That is good. Okay, my 4th favorite clip, all right, is just a clip I call Finger Cut Off. Finger Cut Off is the 4th best joke in that 45 minutes of unlistenable drivel. Here's Finger Cut Off.
What is the best finger to cut off? Probably a ring finger.
Ring finger on your left hand. Ring finger on your left hand. Ring finger on your left hand. That was a good bit. That's a good bit. And it went right into a shocker bit.
Is that before or after one of our acquaintances lost their finger? I was like,
we don't need to talk about that person losing a finger in real life.
Okay, yep.
Aaron, why are you bumming us out?
I may have realized that text jokes about that to family members don't go over that well. So we don't need to do this.
I'm honestly trying to figure out if we were talking about that.
It was not.
Unrelated.
Next up, 3rd best joke in the Portishead episode in the first 45 minutes of unlistenable drivel. We are up to album 131, and from 1984, it's the album that goes like this. Once there was this boy. What do you want? Wait a minute. We're doing Dummy by Portishead? Oh, okay, guys, I need to take about a 49-minute break before we start recording. That's my bad.
I listened to the wrong album.
We're definitely going down the drivel path.
You are serious that you listened to that and you said this is unlistable?
Decent joke. I would say decent joke.
It's a great joke because then we also talked about how Francis Scott Key said, hey, what key is the national anthem in? Yup. It's a joke that doesn't make sense when you think about it, but it's just good. It just feels good. My 2nd favorite joke of the 45 minutes of unlistenable drivel. This one's just called Love Triangle. And keep in mind while you're listening, this is my 2nd favorite joke.
Imagine if you had a love triangle between Blanche from the Golden Girls and J-Lo. Like you were playing them against each other.
Oh, wow.
Hey, come over here and sit on my face. No, wait, not you.
What? That's how love triangles go for you?
Yeah, it's a lot of me bossing people around. If I had a love triangle with Blanche and J-Lo, it would be Blanche in the closet with a camera. That would be her role in the love triangle.
I mean, at this point, the guy's got to just unplug his headphones and be like, what the fuck, right?
He listened to the whole thing. He will be back. We have to follow this guy. Somehow I wish we could track him. He'll be back. I guarantee he'll be back.
I know I found him on Instagram. I'm going to get him.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
And I'll tell you what, you listen to that and you're like, okay, I hate all this, but I got to hear what these guys got to say about Portishead.
Oh.
Like, the number one joke from this episode is such a great joke that it has manifested itself as a text chain joke. This will be a joke we'll make on episode 500. And this guy thinks it was the part of the 45 minutes of unlistenable drivel, as he says. Let's check this out. This one's just titled 69.
Russell, do you deserve to be treated well?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, Russell. You're the man, okay? Somebody wants to take your ass out and take you to Red Lobster. Guess
wine
what?
And dine you, 69 you? All
you
of it.
get out, you get wine.
Then propose.
You get dine.
I think it's great. I think it sounds awesome.
And I would say on Valentine's Day, 69, guys on top. Okay? That's our promise to you on Valentine's Day this year. 69, guys are on top. Okay? Switch it up this year. Guys on top for 69.
And I got to say, that was the number one joke.
That's canon now.
From that episode of Portishead.
Did it better list by Russell.
69 guys on top.
Easily a top 5 list. Oh,
Part of the next write-up. Next sentence in the write-up for this guy who listened to the drivel. But before we get to the music, we respond to an email about unopened gifts and wonder what's in the glory box.
Oh.
Like,
I
Right.
mean,
It's right there. What
right
was he
there.
expecting?
It just he doesn't read. He just turns on a podcast and starts listening. It's like Aaron buying a computer, just throwing it in the. I don't know.
Just grab it, throw it in the cart.
Now there is a little. Guys, can I give you a little? This is my little secret song. Because as I listened to this episode, I heard something that led to a future bit on the show. We were planting seeds for the future. Listen to what Aaron says here.
We haven't done any in-person stuff for 3 years. I have a couple coming up this year, so I'm gonna rely on you guys for advice about that.
Yes, Aaron, you did come for us for advice for the team building, and we showed up in spades. We helped out. Okay, you took all your coworkers out to the park, avoided all those needles. You guys had a great time.
Threw some water balloons. It was wonderful.
Oh God, that's right. It was the water balloons. Oh, I forgot about the water balloon. And then I do say, I have to kind of agree with this guy when we actually did get to the album. Listen to what we sounded like when this is how we started talking about Portishead Dummy.
Listen, about the album, we are doing Dummy by Portishead. Now, let me ask you, Matt and Aaron, have you guys ever heard this album before?
No. Honesty is the best policy.
yeah.
So he listens to all that stuff. He's like, oh, I hate all this. God, this is unlistenable drivel. And then he gets to the part and he's like, finally, you're going to start talking about it. We're like, we've never heard this. We have no idea what's going on.
The truth will set you free, man.
Oh my God.
That means he also hated our James Bond song list. That hurts.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's really unbelievable. But you know what? You got to respect any man who hates a podcast enough to give it 2 stars and write a review. Okay.
I mean, it's kind of like the current political climate, right? Like if we have people that hate listen to us, we'll take it, right?
We'll take it. Yeah.
All attention is good attention.
Exactly.
They're listening to us. They're not listening to somebody else.
Oh,
Do you think he's listened to at least part of another episode?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm going to get him on Instagram and see if he'll listen to the part where we talk about him listening to unlistenable drivel. Maybe he'll like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really is. This is Inception. He's like, what? I'm on a podcast talking about a podcast. Anyway, rolling going. Aaron, how's it rolling going with you? And you know what, guys? I feel like we're off to a good start.
It's really going great. My mind just went blank for a second. I had something I was going to say to you. Oh, one of the things I was going to say is that you asked about, or in your song, you talked about what I'm eating for breakfast. And a couple of things. One, I've got some great, really good turkey sausage in the freezer, but it's in a big chunk. And I should have, when I bought it, I should have portioned it out and then frozen it in patties. I didn't do that. So every weekend night, I think like, shit, I should have got that turkey sausage out of the freezer so I could have it for breakfast tomorrow, and I haven't done it. And so I'm hopefully going to remember by the time we get off of this record to take my turkey sausage out of the freezer because my son has really decided that he loves...
Hey, Siri, set a reminder for tomorrow. Tell Aaron to take out the turkey sausage.
Like it. Thank you.
I got it.
He loves chilaquiles. That's his new thing. And I don't make a great version. I make a kind of like dumbed down, bastardized version, but he does like the chilaquiles. So that's what we've been doing for breakfast or snacks or brunch when we can. But that's not actually what I wanted to talk about. What I was going to talk about
That wasn't even what he wanted to talk about. His kid loves chilaquiles, and he's not. I mean,
I came here. This is the #1 Chiles podcast, and I came here just for this.
Yep. And so
2
far,
stars.
there's been 30
He's already
minutes.
moved on.
I'm already moved on. Well, I mean, there's not a lot to say. Like I bought some. It's not that complicated. I bought some sauce from a jar. I tossed the chips in the sauce. I threw the chips in the toaster oven. It's not major. Like I'm not making the sauce from scratch. I'm not making chips from scratch. None of it. You know, like I'm not.
Now, Russell,
going crazy
did you
on
have
this thing.
Russell, do you have any idea he was talking about a meal where you just put chips and salsa and then put it in your toaster oven?
The only thing I was thinking about the whole time is how my hot take is I don't like eating things out of the freezer. If I have to defrost it, I'm not eating that shit.
You got to defrost it overnight. Yeah.
No.
On the counter on an aluminum tray.
No, you're not hearing what I'm saying.
In water?
If it has to go into the freezer to begin with, I'm not eating it.
Oh,
I'm out.
Russell's freezer is just empty. There's just ice in there, nothing else.
The life of an unmarried man. I'll do whatever I want at any time.
If it wasn't fresh enough to be in the fridge for like a couple days and then you cook it, and otherwise I'm out.
Russ is going Wendy's style. Never in the freezer.
Did any of you guys did you ever eat chilaquiles at the Uptown Cafe? Never.
I still don't know what they are. Can you tell me what they are?
Chilaquiles are
in a
tortilla chips.
Yeah.
No, like traditionally they would be made with like, so you would go all the way. You'd take fresh tortillas, you would cut them into triangles, you'd fry them up into chips, and then you would take a chile sauce, toss the chips in the sauce, let them braise for a minute. So it has that texture that.
So they're like chili. Are you saying chili sauce?
Yeah,
they're just like Cheez-Its then.
I don't.
They're the same as Cheez-Its, except instead of Cheez-Its, like spices.
I don't think they're
okay. I'm picturing Cheez-It.
Like the best ones, and they're eaten for brunch typically or breakfast, and so they're tossed in a chili sauce, and so they have that texture that goes from like crispy to kind of like a little bit soggy, but also crispy, and so then they typically serve them with a fried egg on top, maybe some avocado, queso fresco, some crema, sometimes some beans on the side.
Is this like nachos?
They're kind of like nachos, yeah, but they're fully tossed in a sauce so that you can eat them with a fork. They're not like nachos where you would like pick them up and dip them in something.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
They're really marvelous. And they used to have them at the Uptown Cafe in Minneapolis, which I think has closed.
So do you prepare this on like a daily basis, Aaron?
No. This is like a weekend special.
Okay, all right.
The Uptown Cafe, is that the one on Hennepin, but it's like
South
24th?
31st. South of Lake Street, right?
South of Lake Street, yep. But like almost to Franklin. Right? Like
maybe
right
I can't remember now, but it was close to Amazing Thailand, but it's on Hennepin.
You know, John never talked about where things
Bloody
were.
Marys.
John didn't once mention where things were down to minute detail because he knew people don't like it. Oh God, that's still sensitive. Okay, sorry about that joke. I got once again 3 stern glances. Aaron, what were you actually going to talk about before you got distracted with your kids at breakfast?
I was also going to talk about my son because
I got to tell you, Aaron, that did pay off. Me saying talking about your breakfast on the weekends, I knew that would get you.
I mean, of course, you're gonna like you're baiting me with it. Of course, I have to tell you what I'm gonna. But typically, we do like one morning I make breakfast, which sometimes is just bagels and cream cheese, and one morning Anna makes pancakes. But once in a while, I do the chilaquiles. But I do need to get my turkey sausage out of the freezer because I like to have a little sausage with my chilaquiles.
Yeah.
Or maybe make some patties and do some sandos, but my son doesn't eat egg sandos.
That was my wife's. You know, that was my wife's wedding vow.
What's that?
I like a little sausage. He's like, this needs to be in my wedding vows. I was like, this is humiliating.
I know, I was there. It's bizarre.
I don't remember your vows.
That's good. That's very good. I mean,
I love you and shit. Those are Aaron's vows. Like he just bails. You're the fucking best of shit. I love you.
I mean, I feel like we're almost at my time limit, but I will say, so full disclosure, my happy hour today started.
Wait, we got time limits on this thing?
I feel like it, yeah. I started happy hour today at 2:45 Pacific, so give me a second on this. So if I'm losing a train of thought, that's why. My son started martial arts this week, so he's gone to 2 martial arts classes. And of course, as Rob predicted, so we're not doing jujitsu at this moment because the other place was closer and more convenient. So he's doing a sort of striking, style martial arts. Honestly, I don't know what style it is.
Hey, can I just play a quick song for your nuts? To Aaron's nuts, I just want to say
We
it's
salute
good
you.
having you around. You will feel the full force of a child's karate chop, perhaps while Aaron is sleeping.
Aaron's nuts lived a great life. They were honored by many years of not being struck in them by his son. And then in 2023, after Rob and John deep dicked the podcast, Aaron signed his son up for martial arts where he learned how to use nunchucks and nothing else.
A bow staff.
And from that day on,
Which Ninja Turtle would have hurt the worst to get hit in the nuts by? It might be Donatello, honestly.
I don't know who's the one that's got the stick, the staff. Like
Yeah,
that
that's
could
Donatello.
do some damage.
Or their car would throw a sewer plate at your nuts and hit them. That'd be bad. Oof.
To Aaron's nuts,
Yeah.
we naval salute you.
Well, you guys
All right.
hit the nail on the head. He went to his first class.
So did he.
And the class was
His thumbnail to your dickhead.
the
Nah,
very
wish I
first-
wouldn't have said that.
very first skill he learned was to stand in his fight stance and kick using the front foot and the top of the front foot. And so
You weren't
immediately,
expecting that, were you?
immediately he comes home from class and he said, "Dad, the first kick I learned, I could kick you right in the penis." So that's what he knew. Rob, you predicted it. I texted you about what to do. That is what the child is excited to learn in martial arts. So you guys are.
I don't know you. That's my purse. Man on the moon.
I'm just picturing Aaron's neighbors looking out and being like, all right, what are they up to today? And Aaron just gets blasted in the nards by his kid. Goes down and they just kind of go, huh? And then they look away.
Yeah. So that's it. You guys know. You guys. You had it. You had it. You were ready. Matt, how's it rolling going with Matt?
Good. Rob, can you pull a song up for me?
Of course.
I would love if you could
You know
pull
what?
Morning
Hey,
Phases.
For you, Matt, I'm happy to do whatever. I'm just having a great time here.
Pick up Morning by Beck. Because his album, Morning Phases, to which he won Album of the Year, is now 10 years old as of February of 2024.
Boy, just like me
And
if I
so-
worked at a union job, tenure.
Beck's got some jams. You know, we
This is
use
his
him
12th album.
as a bit of a
This is his 12th
punchline,
album.
but
This one's
he's
his
got some
12th?
stuff.
Wow.
This is his 12th album.
Wow.
And he had taken 4 years off before doing this one because he had gotten pretty hurt and kind of just needed a little break from singing and everything to correct his spine or something like that. So, yeah.
This sounds so much like Golden Age, right? Off of which album was Golden Age on? It sounds like that one.
But sure.
Hands on the wheel. What album was that on? Sea Change.
Sea
That's the
Change.
one I'm
But see,
thinking
that's where this album is supposed to be like the follow-up to Sea Change.
Okay, got it.
12 years later. And so
Okay.
it's supposed to be very similar to each other.
of. Yeah,
So,
good vibes.
so there you go. This is my favorite song. This is on Matt's Soft Jam, Slow Jams playlist.
Not the 100 list though.
Not the 100 list, no.
Is there any
is
Beck
on- I've
songs?
got-
Loser, was that it?
Loser, I think maybe that's the only one on the top 100. I got a lot of. I have a Beck top 20 Beck songs of all time that I've got that list that I throw in every once in a while. This is on that. And then I have Matt's Soft Jam, Slow Jams, which there's I think 3 or 4 Beck songs on that. So, but congratulations to Beck, 10 years, still going strong.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Album of the year.
It's a long time to be doing stuff, you know. Sometimes you just make one little mistake and things could just fall apart so fast, is what you realize.
Yeah. I have been on the mission, and I think all of you guys think about where this mission falls in for you while I'm talking about it. But I've been on a mission to find the perfect pants.
Oh, God.
I need the perfect pants for travel. I need the perfect pants for work, and I need the perfect pants for the weekend. And I cannot find them, but I think I finally found them. And they're golf pants. They're extremely comfortable, water wicking. You feel like you're wearing pajamas, things like that.
Really?
Then I've also been on this mission to find the perfect joggers, because that's what, you know, all the cool kids wear these days. Yeah. And I've realized that if you're short like me and Rob, not tall like Russell, you know, they do not make joggers.
God damn it.
Unless you order them, you know, short. So I got to go 27-inch joggers. Otherwise, they look like balloon pants on me. So my mission right now is to find the perfect pants. I think I found Travis Matthews and then the ABC joggers from Lululemon. I also have reffing pants now that are Lululemon reffing pants. What's the cool new thing?
What are some of the characteristics that you're looking for in pants, Matt? Like, do you want to stretch, or what are the things that you want?
I like a little stretch because you got to move a little bit. But the problem again for short people like me and Rob is if you don't get them hemmed or you don't find the right length, they start bunching up at the bottom and you look like a doofus.
Can I just tell you, for years, I thought I was a for waist and a 29 leg. Or no, I thought I was a 29 leg. And after years of just stepping on my hem of my pants, I realized I thought I was taller than I was. It's kind of clicking for me, actually.
It's true. I do remember seeing some of your pants where your jeans were just fucked up on the bottom.
It's true.
You can't really buy pants. You can't really buy pants without 30's kind of the bottom.
No.
Yeah, 30's kind of the bottom of the list. Unless you're like a 30 waist, then they give you a 28. And so I've just figured out I just have to get everything hemmed now, and I've never done that. And I think as I get older, but Rob, you were finding 29-inch pants, and you're still stepping on them. You are.
Yeah, my legs are very short.
It's kind of crazy though that we ever thought pants needed to go down to your shoes at all anyway, right? Like, couldn't ankle length pants pretty much cover what you need because you're wearing socks. You don't need the pants to touch your shoes. I know that's like a stylish thing. And Russell, you wear a suit, so you probably get yours tailored and all that. But like, we probably could get away with pants that just went to our ankles, no problem.
Well, I had that for a while because you know who I hired as my clothing consultant?
John from Edina.
A little known man. a little known man named Payne Stewart. Okay, and that guy got me some short ass pants. Thank you, Payne Stewart.
Short ass.
I think he had short pants, right? He had short ass, and that's the other problem. My ass is so short. Aaron, my ass is 2 inches tall. Did you know that?
I did not. I've not spent a lot of time with your ass.
I can barely sit on a toilet.
I feel like we talk about this all the time. Or maybe we brought it before, but are you guys... Is there anything that you're trying to perfect right now? We were talking about T-shirts maybe a while ago, and I don't wear T-shirts anymore, but it's pants. Are you guys perfecting anything at this moment?
I'm trying to dial in my underwear still. I'm all over the place. I gotta find some underwear that aren't artificial fabric and also don't look like I've given up on life. You know what I mean? Like, I want to find it somewhere where I want the natural fabric and it doesn't look like I just jumped out of the bed to go with Charlie to the chocolate factory, because that's what my underwear looks like right now. Old ass underwear.
I mean, I'm still working on pants, so I'm very happy to hear Matt's pants thoughts. And then I always want to dial in the long sleeve that's not a heavy sweatshirt. So I've got some good ones in my quiver right now, but I can always use more. Anna's parents gave me a beautiful Timberwolves long sleeve T-shirt for Christmas this year. So that's the platonic ideal right now. It's a gorgeous shirt. So that's like where I'm at.
I've got one pair of pants, Matt, that I would pay $1,000 to get copies of. They're the perfect pair of pants I have right now. They're vintage from like a Goodwill. I can't find anything anywhere. Fabric, nothing. Oh, it's so frustrating because they're great, and I know they're going to go at any time.
And that's where I found these Travis Matthews pants, and they're like $120 each. They're
me too. Actually.
They're not cheap, kind of a thing, right? And it costs $25 to hem, $22.98 or something like that to hem them. But I think I just need to order like 5 pair and just
I think you do it.
Yeah.
But then
100%.
Are they going to go out of style in a year? That's my problem with all this shit.
Matt, you're at the age where going out of style does not matter anymore, does it?
No.
I don't know. I kind of like being at least somewhat hip now with it. And wow, was like you can't have big balloon pants anymore, right? And you can't have your pants bunched up in your body. You got to have them the short pants, things like that. Like I like to try. I think I got to try to stay up with at least moderately stay up with fashion. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Maybe I need you guys to tell me I should just give it up. But
no, you got to stay
43.
Because I've been thinking about this with our Vegas trip. Like, we're close. We're not old men, but we can see it from here.
We're pretty old.
Yep.
So we're gonna have to still think about how can we be out of our homes and look like we know what's going on. You know
what? I'll tell you what though. You always can rely on the younger generation to make you feel good, though. Because remember the guys sitting next to us at the thing where they're like, we just fucking went out and bought these matching sweatsuits.
That's true.
We're like, okay, guys, like that was big literally 3 years ago. Like you guys have totally missed the boat.
Bomb shots. You're cool.
Yeah, it was crazy to be.
It's not like we ever wore matching T-shirts with Rob's face on them in Vegas or anything.
No, that's
right?
different. That's different. We were really cool. Okay. Oh, by the way, also mentioned in that Portishead episode, Dauber. So that was an episode from 2023.
That's why I thought it was coming up.
We mentioned Dauber's seen us in Vegas. I almost passed out when I heard us talk about that. Oh, this is unlistenable drivel. Yeah, Dauber's there. So get ready because he's actually a recurring character on the show, believe it or not.
You're going to enjoy it as a fan of this podcast. Welcome.
Yeah.
Russell, rolling going. How's it going with you?
Things are going really good. I took a trip. I was going to see what you guys thought of this city. I went to Savannah this last weekend for 4 days. Have you guys been to Savannah?
No, but I would love
a few
to.
times.
Oh, wow.
Matt, I'd never been before. I went for a work thing. I took the upstairs roommate, came with me we kind of went a few days before the conference, had a few days in the city. There's something about like a southern city, kind of a relaxed atmosphere, a lot of like parks and everything. I had a great time. Matt, what do you think of Savannah?
It was great. First time I went there was with Sarah. We just went on a trip. We went to Charleston and Savannah because Charleston's about a 2-hour drive, hour and a half, 2-hour drive. So if anybody just needs to get, and I've said this for years that us living in Minnesota, we never think of the Southeast other than Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody goes to the Carolinas, nobody goes to Georgia, nobody goes to Alabama, nobody even goes to like the Panhandle coast. They just go to Orlando or Fort Myers, that's where the Twins are, or Miami, because I think that's where they got to go. But the Carolinas is awesome. And then you get outside of that to the coast and Savannah. Awesome. And so Sarah had set up this whole thing. We stayed there. We went to, there's a big park, almost like a Central Park. It's not as big as Central Park, obviously, but in the middle of Savannah, there's I forget the name of it's like Paula Deen or something. It has like a restaurant there where you go and you sit down, do family style restaurant, and it's great. And they got bars there that have been there since like the 1700s. It's great. They got these old Spanish moss trees. Awesome. It's historic. It's nothing like we have anywhere close to us. And it's awesome to go see it. What was your highlights, Russell?
Some of my highlights. First, you guys know I love doing these. I did a hop on, hop off tour. They do trolley tours. Ooh. Hop on, hop off, trolley where you get like the 2-hour tour. You can find all the cool things in the city. So we did a hop on, hop off trolley tour on day one. I always think the key to it, one of those tours, you got to do it the first day you're there. Because then you know, where do you want to go back? Where do you want to spend more time at, right?
Yeah.
I'll say this, Russell. We're going to London in about 2 weeks with the kids. First time they're going overseas. Day one, hop on, hop off.
Love it.
Perfect.
That's
what we're doing. Yep.
Yes.
Well, I don't know, whatever they got.
Matt, is there any urge where you want to dress up like our favorite British person, Austin Powers?
No.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, kids. We're in London, baby.
I thought you were going to say Noel Gallagher. Dress up like Noel Gallagher. Oh,
yes. That'd be so good.
Wait,
David Beckham.
He was awesome in The Offspring.
I'm going to dress up as the guy who runs Red Bull Racing. Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
So one of the other things is Savannah is one of the most haunted cities in the country. I didn't know this.
Cool.
But one of the big things down there is ghost tours. So either walking tours, trolley tours, that type of thing. So we signed up for one of the Ghost in the Graveyards tours where they drive you around Savannah at night. Mm-hmm. They take you in a few of the haunted mansions and everything. It was super cool. But at one point, there's probably like 25 people on our tour, and they ask like, who on the tour does not like scary things? I am legit like the only person. I raised my hand. I'm like, I do not like that stuff. I don't like scary stuff.
You raised your hand on a haunted mansion and a haunted graveyard tour that you don't like scary stuff?
I did.
They must have thought, wow, this guy's a true pervert. Yeah.
But it was really fun. Some of the other highlights. I think my favorite thing about Savannah is they have all these squares, like their parks just every other block or whatever, right? And you could pick one of like 40 parks within like a couple mile radius and sit down and just look at the trees and relax and do nothing and be in peace. And it was so nice. The one I spent the most time in, forgot the name of the park, but it's essentially like Forrest Gump Park. It's where Forrest Gump sits on the bench and tells his story during that movie. And we just sat there multiple days for multiple hours. It was so amazing. But some of the other highlights, the casino boat from the TV show Ozark. I don't know if you guys ever watched Ozark.
Yeah.
the casino boat in that show is in Savannah. That's where they shot some of that. And so we got to see the boat, which was cool.
Rest in peace, Ruth.
Saddam Hussein? Is that what you're going to say?
And rest in peace, Ruth, but spoiler alert. You might have to bleep that out just in case.
Yeah.
You know what? If you haven't watched it yet, forget it.
Saddam Hussein is a spoiler alert, too, if you're watching the Netflix series.
I mean...
Spider hole hunters. It's like house hunters, except they're looking at various people's spider holes. Okay. And so far, I've only seen one episode, and the guy was not happy to sell it.
Another interesting thing, we bounced around to a bunch of bars, and one of them we went to was called the Savoy Society. It was a vinyl bar. I thought you guys would appreciate that.
Vinyl bars, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were playing a lot of R&B music, some old funk records.
Russell shows up to the vinyl bar like, he's like, hey, I'm here for the vinyl bar. Oh, no. It's not this kind of vinyl.
Did they have that one where did they go upstairs? Was there like the names of different bands on the way on the stairs?
I did not see that at this one. The most interesting thing I saw at this one was they had probably, a couple hundred records there. And I watched them and they were moving stuff around and clearly putting things in order, but I couldn't figure out what order they were putting them in. So literally I just sat there drinking, staring as they put records away, wondering, is this alphabetical? Is it by genre? Are they just putting records away so they know, hey, we're not going to play these for the next few weeks? I was entranced by how they were sorting their vinyl.
Autobiographical.
You could be right, Aaron.
No.
The other thing, the last thing I would bring up is Matt had mentioned Paula Dean's restaurant. We didn't go there. We went to the Pink House. The Pink House is like one of the famous restaurants in Savannah, but there's something about great Southern food, whether it's fried chicken, biscuits, just everything you can get. The hospitality was amazing. So I would highly recommend it. It was an amazing city. I think it's like Matt, you said you and Sarah went, you didn't bring your kids to Savannah, right?
No, we went like 10 years ago. So I was just going to say, when we went, Forrest Gump, they had like a statue still on where you were sitting, and they removed it about 5 years ago because it was just like getting too old or something like that. So, but then I go there for work every once in a while. And so I end up going to the bars and restaurants more than walking around looking at the touristy stuff. But it's an unbelievable spot.
Yeah, so I would highly recommend if anyone's looking to do like Aaron, a trip with your lady or something like that, Rob, and if you and John are looking to go celebrate your first and only podcast episode, you can go.
Well, only. I think
Savannah
we need to talk
is a great city for it.
And Savannah and then Charleston are like the essentially like the bachelorette destinations of the Southeast. There's like Nashville now is like bigger than Vegas, almost kind of a thing from bachelorette parties. But at Charleston, they've had to outlaw Airbnbs because there's too many like bachelor parties going on. So like the downtown Charleston, and then I think Savannah's got something similar where something with there's just too many people. They're trying to preserve like the historic nature of it.
Would you guys go to a bachelor party right now if we all had to stay in the same Airbnb?
Yes, I told you I wanted to do that for Vegas. 100%.
Really?
I would make breakfast for you guys. No problem.
Every year I look, Aaron, and in Vegas to see if there's something like that fits.
Too far from the strip, though.
Well, yeah, and it's just, relatively speaking, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
Compared to what we
ours
pay.
Does pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Matt had mentioned Charleston, Rob, Charleston Chew as a candy. Your thoughts, rolling going.
Get out of here. Terrible. Okay. Below candy. Tootsie Roll. Below Tootsie Roll, below the orange Tootsie Roll, even. Okay.
That was the one that only took one ticket at the Ankeny Little League concession stand. Like one ticket, Charleston Chew.
Oh.
You want anything better? You got to get two tickets. You better be MVP of the game if you want something better than Charleston.
If you saw a kid
did they have the individual Laffy Taffies?
Yep. Yes.
That you could buy?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Or the square now and laters. So they have the now and laters as well.
Oh, the worst.
If I saw a kid walking around with just one Charleston Chew and he's like looking at it like he was going to eat it, I'd be like, well, I better blindside this kid and adopt him because obviously he's having a rough life. Okay. Sorry, kid, I blindsided you. Let's go. You can't live like this. All right.
And also, I would like 70% of your future earnings. Just sign here. Don't worry about it.
Just come on. Just do it. All right.
Your life's gonna be better.
I'd be a good conservator. Trust me.
Yeah. At some point, didn't he see the movie and he was like, "Wait a minute, what the hell?" Like it didn't seem to come out till way later. There's a movie about him. Like nobody said, "Hey, like did she actually adopt you?" Like nobody ever said that. It's wild to me. Listen, I got to show you this. Okay. Speaking of Air Bud. Okay, for my rolling going.
Speaking of,
were we speaking of Air Bud?
I just want to, well, we actually were on the Portishead episode, so I think that might be what I'm thinking of. But I want to show you this. Now, one thing we never thought of is that Buddy is playing football. Okay. He is, of course, an offensive wide receiver. Okay. Now, of course, you might say to yourself, wide retriever. Yes, that was the subtitle of the movie. Okay. Here's the thing.
Or maybe it was a guard dog.
Oh,
ooh, like it.
Holy shit, Russell.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. That was so good. Oh, that was so good. I loved it.
Line barker.
Although now they put him in a white and black shirt and he's the rough.
Oh, jeez.
What?
He liked to waggle his tail.
QB waggle his tail. Oh
There's
God,
no
so
drivel on this episode if that guy comes back.
This guy,
all killer, no filler.
He's back and he's listening to Portishead in one headphone and us in the other one. But you forget one thing with football, guys, is that Air Bud is not going to score a touchdown every time. He's not Randy Moss against the Packers on Thanksgiving. Okay, check this out. Air Bud catches the pass.
Well, this is legit Air Bud too.
Yep.
The dog's playing football.
He gets rocked. Did you see that? Air Bud got
Pass
tackled.
interference.
He got tackled. Look at this. Look at Air Bud just get dropped.
I think it's hilarious that like the players are like all pissed that he got tackled. Like that's the game. Do they just expect the dog's allowed to catch the ball and run freely or what?
Russell tackling Air Bud gets up like he's on Miami, like he's at the U. He's dancing around like Merton Hanks after blasting a wide receiver into the ground.
Merton Hanks never blasted anyone, but he was a good player.
But he didn't do that dance when he got an interception.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Merton Hanks chicken dance. That was I was like, if I ever got an interception, I would do the Merton Hanks chicken dance. Now, it might surprise you. I never got an interception in my football career. Okay.
What was your glory moment? Did you ever like recover an offensive fumble, Rob?
Oh, I had a guy, there was a guy rushing the quarterback who, and it doesn't matter who was supposed to block him, and he put his hand up, tipped the pass way up in the air. Now, I, of course, was also turned around looking at the quarterback, and it's not important why. Okay, it's not important why an offensive lineman would be turned around looking at the quarterback. So I see this ball sail through the air. I rise up, okay, like Randy Moss, all right? I'm up.
Your 29-inch inseam.
I grab it. I get a reception. I catch it. Immediately think of my buddy in high school who did the same thing, ran 2 yards and got blasted and fumbled the football. So I just went down for a 1 yard loss. So Russell, my college receiving record is 1 catch, -1 yards. Okay.
How do you even look yourself in the mirror? Like when you get the ball, you're like, I got to do what these coaches told me and go down. Wait, that was
in college?
Yep, Russell, I was more machine than man. I just did.
That doesn't matter anymore. Like in college, you guys should have been doing whatever the hell you wanted. Like high school is different, but college, you can fuck around.
I should have. You're right, because I'm picturing myself scoring a touchdown. That would probably be a better highlight than me going down for a -1 yard loss.
Right.
Okay.
Who was the quarterback at the time on that one?
I'm not really good with names.
Rob, did your team ever do like the, hey, we're gonna run the tackle out on like a fake play, a fake throw to the lineman? And did you think, oh, they might put me in there, and then you realized they weren't going to let you do that either, or not?
No, they never said we should do this play. Nobody ever said we should do this play.
Why
we never
not?
thought about it.
And Jeff from Apple Valley would have been the one that they would have.
Yeah,
he was taller.
They probably wouldn't have picked both the fattest and the shortest guy on the team. Like, listen, okay, let's talk about the album.
Oh, Sweet Music Podcast.
We could do Portishead again. You want to give it Portishead another crack?
Can you tell me one thing about Portishead? Tell me anything. Anything you remember.
Some beats. It's like a hip hop. It's trip hop.
Yeah.
They sound like Bond music.
Aaron, I listened to the old episode.
Yeah, it did sound like Bond music.
That's right. Nice job. You guys are so smart. Okay. I love doing this podcast with you guys. James Taylor. Okay. Born in Boston. Goes to a boarding school. Drops out. All right. Goes to NYC. Lives in the Village. He's playing his guitar in Washington Square Park. Okay. Gets good at his guitar, performing for people. Also gets really good at taking heroin. Okay, which is a major theme of this entire thing and this entire album. He goes into recovery. Okay, he makes his first album then. He goes into recovery, uses what they cite on Wikipedia as a family fortune inheritance to fly to London, where he is playing, and he is signed by a little record company named Apple Records. He is the first non-British guy signed to Apple Records after his demo got listened to by McCartney and George Harrison. The album is great. Okay, he makes his album. This is his first album. So he makes his first album in London, right? He is recording James Taylor's first album at the same time that the Beatles are making the White Album. So literally they're in the same place making these albums, which is a crazy fun fact.
Probably where the cellist came from, right? Like he's got some major instrumentation in this album. You're like, how did debut artists get all this money?
They definitely brought people in. Well, that was his first album. This is his second album.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So after this first album, they're like, hey, James Taylor, we love having you. Why don't you go promote this album? And he's like, hey, I am super hooked on heroin. Can't go promote this album right now. That's on me. Okay. Hand up. Okay. One hand out. Okay. That's on me. He goes into rehab after this.
I shouldn't laugh. That's not a good joke.
He goes into rehab. Well, don't say that out loud. Okay? Don't say when you think of that, don't say it out loud. He plays Newport. Everything seems to happen to James Taylor. He played the Newport Festival for 15 minutes, and they came out and said, hey, just to let everybody know, we landed on the moon. And so he just walked off stage. He's like, well, I guess I'm done. Like 15 minutes into your set, and they announced that we landed on the moon. And then you're like, okay, this one's called Steamroller. You know what I mean? Then he gets in a motorcycle accident, breaks both his hands and feet.
Oh.
He is now broke, okay? He moves to LA. He is sleeping on people's couches. Gets into kind of a collaboration with Carole King on this album and comes out with Sweet Baby James, a historic run of bad album names for James Taylor. It's amazing the bad album names he picked. Listen to these albums. James Taylor. Fine. It's his name. I get it. Sweet Baby James. Terrible album title.
Great
right?
song,
Can we
though.
agree to that? I know, but it's a terrible. I mean, if you were like, hey, check out this album, it's Sweet Baby James. That's embarrassing to say. His next album, James Taylor and the Original Flying Machine, which of course was his band from before. The next one, Mudslide Slim and the Blue Horizon. This guy cannot name an album.
Well, he fancies himself a blues man, and which is kind of embarrassing. But I think Sweet Baby James is fun to say. I don't know. Like I would love to be known as Sweet Baby James.
Sounds like a barbecue sauce.
It does. Well, there's Sweet Baby Ray's, right, which is a barbecue sauce.
James Taylor himself says this is the best song. Now, I was confused because when I had to play in a basketball game, okay, against this team I hated, okay, they were terrible. I came out spinning my ball to this song because I thought this was Sweet Georgia Brown.
Oh, nice.
And this is, I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't seem right to me. And I was so mad I was going to throw water on the crowd, but guess what, Russell? Just confetti.
It happens sometimes. I was thinking of Matt when I heard this song. I feel like you hear this song, you know exactly what you're getting, right?
Yep.
100%.
We have 2 weeks in a row of track one, side one, titular track that fucking slams. This song rules. Next week's track one, side one is a titular track, and it rules. We've not had this unprecedented in Beck Did It Better.
You already listened to next. How are you already a week ahead?
I just know. I know next week's album.
2 great titular tracks.
2
right away.
is the right number of titular tracks. 3 would be too many.
3 would be way too many. What did Portishead?
I could listen to this song all day.
It's in 3/4 time. He composed this for his nephew, who was also named James. He wrote it on the car ride down there to see him for the first time.
God, it's so good.
What do you guys have any relationships like that where nephews or uncles or aunts, people have the same name in the family or not?
I got my brother Jim and I got an uncle Jim.
Oh,
what do you think of that?
We've got Big Jim and Little Jim.
What do you think
Big
of
Jimmy,
that,
Little
Matt?
Jimmy. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, go ahead, Rob.
Oh, well, I'm, in my family, I'm Little Rob.
You're Little Rob.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Jim.
I'm not Big Rob. I'm Little
Little
Rob.
Sphere Rob.
Oh, don't say it like that. I'm in the small and tall section or whatever we said.
No. But like in my family, Russell, the Greek tradition is that you name like your firstborn son after the father. And so like the names, so like there's Jameses and Georges and Michaels and Jims and there's just like forever. My mom broke the trend with me. So I should have been George. That's my middle name.
He was like, Jesus Christ, had a umbilical cord wrapped around his neck. There's no way. I'm using this name.
Mm-hmm.
What? That's a callback.
It is a good
That's a
callback.
deep callback.
Shows you listen, Rob.
Wow.
And to think that we thought maybe we were having troubles, and then it turns out I actually was listening, and I cared about you guys. Okay.
Funny, it's always the bad stuff about everybody.
Well, I don't know about
That
that.
time, Aaron, when you played that football game and you fumbled it and you lost the state championship game, and then you guys never, it sent you in that deep depression for 13 years, and you're finally coming out of it. Do you remember that? Do you remember that?
Russell dating the pregnant lady. You're right. I am addicted to bad news about you guys.
Just to be clear, we did win the state championship, and I didn't fumble, but I narrowly missed recovering a fumble. But
Okay.
we still won anay.
All right.
It's on my highlight
that's not
video,
as good
which
a
I've
story.
sent you
Let's
guys
move on.
multiple times.
We don't care about winning.
Yeah, 2 stars. Unlistenable. Guys talking about other stuff. Terrible. Lo and behold, I got to say this album is very clear.
The sound is nice, yeah.
When Rob was talking about like all the problems with James Taylor, like I think we've talked about him before with the heroin and all that stuff, but like I only know him as like the old guitar player, and like hearing like he had all these issues it kind of blew my mind. I just always figured he was like this straight-laced.
Agreed, because like my parents had the James Taylor greatest hits that was on all the time. It was just like, oh, this guy seems like he must be happy and content.
Yeah,
and,
A
like,
little bit of a
plays nice
swordsman
tunes.
too, wasn't he? Didn't he have quite the love life? With
The
different-
swordsman, you're saying?
Yeah. Well, he was with Joni Mitchell, right? We talked about him way back on Blue.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine Alice Cooper and James Taylor meet each other? And you're like, hey, which one of these guys has a crippling heroin addiction? It's obviously James Taylor. Sunny Skies. Now, James Taylor wrote Sunny Skies during his treatment at the Austin Riggs Center. So it's kind of like a cheery, not cheery song.
Some of these songs are kind of corny though, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, just maudlin.
What I don't get, like, James Taylor, like, he's got great songs, right? But he feels like the, what's that group? Who's the best-selling album of all time? The
Eagles?
The Eagles.
Right.
He feels like he's like the Eagles of, like, folk music to me. Like, everybody can do it, but how did he become so popular? I don't know.
I think he's a crazy good songwriter. I think the guitar sounds good, right? Like the problem is he kind of defined the singer-songwriter genre, right? And now when you hear it, it's like, oh, he's kind of...
I just think he was riding on like, I mean, this whole album is like on a razor's edge of perfectly well done song with great sentiment and great emotion. And if you teeter on either side, you either become like Sunny Skies, like saccharine, happy garbage, or, I mean, Blossom also, we're going to get to that, like, bleh. Or Fire and Rain could have been just terrible, like too sad. Right. Like he's riding a thin line, and he gets it perfect sometimes.
I think I always think about this as like boner ads, like boner pill ads. Like when you hear a song like this, doesn't it sound like you're advertising boner pills?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like, hey, come on out, get a huge boner.
So, I mean, it feels like.
Sorry, no. Okay, I'm gonna summarize mine and you summarize yours, and we'll see who's gonna go. I'm gonna ask how Viagra works if you have a boner all the time. What are you gonna say? Were you gonna say the same thing?
Nope.
Okay, so let's go with yours. I'll come back to mine. We'll circle back.
Okay, I was just gonna say it does sound like he is writing a song for a cereal commercial in 1976 with every single song that he does. And like just somebody's going to come on smiling at the end of it. And then there's going to be a box that says Fruit Loops.
James Taylor
or something like that.
It was like two middle-aged people sitting in a pool, like a bathtub that's out where a bathtub shouldn't be on like a beach.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And they're like, oh, thank God my cholesterol's lowered with this medication. You know what I mean? Like that's the ad.
But if you could be the soundtrack for that, that means you've got some good songs, right?
There's like
some hooks.
There's like
got some jingles.
3 legit bangers on this album. Okay. And I have to say, Steamroller to me, absolutely not one of them. Now, every time I heard this, I literally cringed. And then I read on Wikipedia that he wrote this to mock the inauthentic blues bands he would see on the music scene.
I don't know.
And that made sense to me until I got to the second to last song on the album. And we'll see. Because that seems very
the whole I'm gonna mock other people by doing exactly what they do. I don't know. It just seems a little too cute, doesn't it?
Yeah, and when you're capable of writing Sweet Baby James or Fire and Rain, why are you wasting album space with this?
Right.
It really is wild to me. And then he comes down and says, "Hey, let's put the hammer down to Country Road."
I'm all in pieces.
I mean, this is a song.
You know what I noticed the first time listening back to this one is the piano in this. I don't know if I never really heard the piano before, but this song is just flat amazing, isn't it?
Yep.
It's got all the way up to 37 on the charts.
Why not just leave Steamroller off and make it a 10-track album?
Oh, he had to make it a certain length to get the 20 G's. That's why the last song is called Sweet for 20 G's. He had to come up with a song.
I probably would have doubled up the time on Oh Susanna, I think.
Oh, God.
Well, if you want to add more time to stuff, I highly recommend talking about Valentine's Day. That's what we did on our Portishead episode. Big hit. Okay, because that was when Russ was not admitting that he was going with someone and asked about, hey, they planned my whole Valentine's date. Do I need to, and paid for it, do I need to reimburse them?
I'm just glad he didn't pull some random dude off the street and then just decide to try to write like some like coy song that like maybe like under the guise of something else and like surprise his producer and something. I'm just glad he didn't try to go that way.
That's true. That would have been terrible.
Beyonce drops a surprise album and everybody's actually quite happy and supportive. Okay. Well, not always Jay-Z. You guys, never mind. That is not a good metaphor. Now here, thank God this song is on this album. It's a song, okay, that immediately, if you were like, I'm going to put on this album, I'm going to start making out with my lady. Okay. This would be a killer. Oh, Susanna. Oof.
Is Oh Susanna, is that a folk song? What do you is it a folk song? What's the name for Old Susanna type song?
Standard?
I would say folk song, yeah.
With my banjo on my knee.
But it's
guys,
a traditional song. It's like who wrote it? We don't know, kind of thing.
I vacillate on this song between thinking like, hey, it's kind of fun. You can hear how talented he is. But it's so cornball, right?
I think it sucks. Yeah, I think it's square. I don't like it.
The sun was so hot, I froze.
L7 weenie foot long.
And I like this album overall. I do like this album. I don't like this track.
Can you imagine you're this guy and you're playing this song and then you're like, God, I can't wait to do some of that black tar heroin. Oh, like that's wild to me.
You know why I think the heroin thing is so surprising to me? And Aaron, I mean this respectfully. He's like a bald dude. He's got like a bald. Wow. He's like an old man bald haircut. Wow. You know, like, but it's not like he's not. He's not like a shaved. He's not like a shaved, cool looking bald. He's like got the horseshoe bald guy. And it's like I never saw that guy as being like the hair. I figured that would be like Mick Jagger or like rock stars, not James Taylor.
Russell, that's because James Taylor and Aaron both got addicted to no heroin. No heroin. Fire and Rain. I'm back, baby. I'm back.
This is like a top 25 song, maybe.
This is so good. I mean, the singing, the wordsmith, it's a perfect song. This is a song you couldn't imagine it not existing in the world.
Yeah, no way.
You know where I remember it existing? I don't know if you guys will remember this.
Guitar Hero?
He actually performed this. He was a guest on The Simpsons.
Wow.
On the episode Deep Space Homer.
I do remember
performed this while Homer was on the space shuttle. And actually, Rob, I gave you the clip. If you pull it up, he had to change the line because he's singing a song about flying machines falling into pieces on the ground. And he realized this is probably not the best lyric while someone's in a space shuttle.
Homer's in the space shuttle. That's the one where the rod saves the day. And everybody cheers for the rod. In Rod we trust.
Sweet dreams and flying machines in pieces on the ground. Sweet dreams and flying machines flying safely through the air.
So he changes the lyrics for The Simpsons.
So sweet.
Such a good bit.
So I thought we could do a list of the greatest musical, what do you call them, cameos in the Simpsons history.
Here for it. Loving it.
Are you guys Simpsons fans? Like I watched it probably till I was, I don't know, the first 6, 7 to 8 seasons, but I probably haven't seen an episode in 20 years. All right, first song on the list. This is from the episode Stark Raving Dad. This is Michael Jackson, Lisa, It's Your Birthday.
Oh my God.
Lisa, it's your birthday.
This is so good. And this was a moment, right?
Yes. It was so weird, though, because it wasn't Michael Jackson in the show.
No. So the show was this guy, Leon Kompowski, who was impersonating him at like a mental institution. And Michael Jackson was not credited for that, but it's because he had a part of his record deal wouldn't let him do it.
Wow.
And so that is really Michael Jackson on the show, but he was uncredited for doing that song in The Simpsons.
Can you imagine how far he fell? Where at that point, Michael Jackson was like, actually, I don't want you to use my name on your show. I mean, that is wild to think that Michael Jackson is the reason that he wasn't on there.
They were going to do another episode of this, Aaron, you'll like this. And the same guy, the guy who thought he was Michael Jackson was going to be Prince, and they tried to get Prince to do a Simpsons episode, but Prince wouldn't do it.
Not after Michael. No, if he could have done it first, he would have, but not after Michael Jackson. He already did it.
It's We Are the World all over again.
Right.
All right, next song on the list. Rob, I know you love birthday songs. You've said Happy Birthday is the best song ever. This is the Ramones singing Happy Birthday to Mr. Burns. Check this out.
Hey, up yours, Springfield.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes.
Ooh, we got to let this go for a second, too. You'll be fine.
Go to hell, you old bastard.
Isn't that so good?
It's so good. I love that.
So I think there were 2 of the Ramones that were passed on, so they had some fill-ins, but 2 of the Ramones were the original ones. Were actually on that Simpsons episode. Rob, that was for you. I know you love the birthday songs.
It makes you happy when you hear it.
All right, next song on the list. I think this is kind of in Matt's wheelhouse. This is the Red Hot Chili Peppers. This is from 1993's Krusty Got Canceled. Check out the Chili Peppers.
Now, boys, the network has a problem with some of your lyrics. Would you mind changing them for the show?
Forget you, clown.
Hey, our lyrics are like our children, man. No way.
Well, okay. But here where you say, what I got, you got to get and put it in you. How about just, what I'd like is I'd like to hug and kiss you.
Wow. That's much better.
Everyone can enjoy that.
The Chili Peppers on The Simpsons. That's awesome, isn't it?
That's so good.
So they were getting the Chili Peppers for part of Krusty's comeback special. On that special was Johnny Carson, Hugh Hefner, Bette Midler, and Luke Perry.
Wow.
Yes.
And so the night before, Moe supposedly had told the Chili Peppers that Moe's Tavern held 30,000 people, and they were not happy when they found out Moe's Tavern didn't hold 30,000 people.
Can you imagine seeing Luke Perry in real life and be like, I loved 8 seconds?
Yes. How many other things was he in? What else do you got?
Well, I mean,
just 8 seconds.
90210, right? Like that's, I think, the main thing he's probably recognized for.
Was it 8 seconds like the bull riding where he gets stepped on by the bull in the nuts?
$1 Million Baby is kind of like a copy of 8 seconds, if you think about it.
Oh my God.
It is.
That's one of my life's great regrets was that I saw Philip Seymour Hoffman, rest in peace, playing foosball in New York, and I did not say, I loved your work in Along Came Polly. And I wish for the rest of my life, I will wish I had said that to him.
Yeah. No, you blew it.
Yeah.
All right, next band on the list, next cameo. This is from one of my favorite Simpsons episodes ever. It's from the Flaming Moe's episode of season 5. It's Aerosmith.
Flaming Moe's.
How about a warm Flaming Moe's welcome for Aerosmith?
Yeah, we're just hanging out.
Oh, come on, guys. Free pickled eggs.
All right.
Pickled eggs did it.
Hello, St. Louis.
That's Springfield, Stephen.
Oh, yeah, right.
Are you ready to rock?
It's so good. You can just.
Are you ready to rock? Get it.
I mean, it's so good.
Rob is so confused and aroused right now at the same time.
So this is 5th season. This is going to be like 1993, 94. We're like 13, 14 years old for that Flaming Moe's episode.
Oh,
happiness is just a flaming Moe away.
I could see. I also thought of Aaron. I figured Aaron would be into like pickled eggs, but I heard Moe.
I was thinking
tempt them with pickled eggs
because I was thinking I think the best way to eat a pickled egg is thin slices. I think if you bite into a whole pickled egg and try to eat it in 2 bites, it's too dry. It's not going to work. But if you eat it in thin slices, maybe put it on some toast or something. Then it's good eating.
You're cutting up. Wait, you can buy pickled eggs not just at a bar. You can just buy them?
You can buy a bar. Yeah, you can buy a jar of pickled eggs. Come on. I'm going to DoorDash you some pickled eggs before this is over.
It'd be so good. Honey, hey, it got here. Yes, the pickled eggs. No. We're going to cut them really thin. Yeah, we really want to taste that pickling.
Just put them on some toast.
But don't forget about the eggy flavor. I mean, that was like a meal they ate, Aaron, when they like stopped eating each other. Like that's like a Donner Pass meal. They're like, well, I ate the guy next to me. I might as well eat these pickled eggs.
That's like when my wife is like, is the pepperoni in the fridge bad? I'm like, no, that's the whole point of pepperoni. It's never going to go bad. It's cured meat. It's fine.
Nice. I like to picture you screaming at your wife. No, it's pickled eggs. Damn it. It's the fucking point. Kid comes in, kicks you in the balls.
Right with the top of the foot.
Hit me right in my pickled eggs.
Ooh, nice.
Last song on the list. This is not your typical rock star anyone, but this for me is from the greatest Simpsons episode ever. This is the guy who wrote Talkin' Baseball. This is Terry Cashman with Talkin' Softball.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Burns had done it. The power plant had won it. With Roger Clemens clucking
touch my hat not once, not twice, but thrice. That's what it feels.
Trim those sideburns, Maddie.
While Wade Bogsley,
I was reading all of the baseball stars that did the cameos in this were all good with their kind of weird quirk or whatever, except for one player. Jose Canseco made them rewrite the Canseco part in the show.
That man was never comfortable in his own skin, was he?
Yep. And I think did he end up having to like pull people out of a fire? Was that the end result?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, so I don't know what they had him originally do it, but it changed.
Wasn't that the one where Mark McGwire, where they were like, "Hey, isn't there steroids in baseball?" Mark McGuire's like, "Do you want to see me hit some dingers?" And they're like, "Yeah." Like, oh, that's rather prescient.
Talking softball.
So that was the list of the greatest cameo appearances from musicians ever in The Simpsons.
What a bunch of drivel.
Oh my God.
What a bunch of drivel.
Russell, that was a top 2 list tonight.
Like, I didn't know The Simpsons that well. I've not seen that many Simpsons episodes in my life, actually, but I know many of these songs from Russell's Napster and from watching a couple of the episodes with you, Russell, and so I love how this takes me back down memory lane.
Oh, Aaron, on Sunday night, I'll do my homework. No, Aaron, you don't do your homework until after The Simpsons, and then you tell your mom, hey, I'm doing a project. I need 200 cotton balls. I forgot about it. Sorry. Blossom. Let's do Blossom. Hey, we're
Good
6.
show, right? And that's aged
We
well.
nailed it, Aaron.
She's fine.
Yeah.
How'd that go for on Jeopardy, Aaron?
What is a bad host?
It's just
What
the
is
worst
a
host.
failed career? Looking for attention other ways.
Aaron Rodgers is like, thank God I'm not her.
It's been much too
All right. Again, makes you think that
I don't know. It's pleasant. It's fine.
But it's a boner medication song. It just is. Like, you listen to this and you almost... Now, can I ask you guys, let's circle back real quick. If you just take Viagra, are you just hard? Like for right away or hours or what? Does anybody know?
What's going on?
Feels like it's knowable. I don't know.
Does Viagra just work? Like if I was in a room by myself, like looking at like pain samples, and I took a Viagra, would it work? Or does it need to be like...
Depends on...
Wait, are you going to tell us that you don't get a boner looking at pain samples otherwise?
Oh, taupe. And you thought I was going to say nude there, and I didn't. Switcheroo.
Angelic white.
Okay, so you guys don't want to talk about Viagra? All right.
So you're saying, does there have to be some sort of instigator beyond just the pill?
Yes.
I don't know the answer to that.
No, me neither.
All right. It sounds like we have our next special episode for the best of. I got to get on the horn with John. We're going to figure this out. Anywhere Like Heaven.
when I walk along your city streets.
You guys were mentioning Beck earlier. I was reading. So in 2002, he pivoted to more the singer-songwriter kind of sound like this, kind of Bob Dylan, Leonard Cohen, Joni Mitchell. And also he specifically cited James Taylor. He said, I've been really getting into James Taylor. People don't understand that as much as punk was rebelling against guys like James Taylor, he was rebelling against punk, just singing from the heart. So James Taylor, actually, we were talking about this album earlier, was Sea Change that came before Morning Phase, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And Rob, I gave you one of the songs from Sea Change, but you can kind of hear where the influence from James Taylor came from.
This song is
so good. Fuck. Oh, God.
It's a great song.
I hate it. It's so good.
Maybe a little more stripped down, kind of similar to Taylor, I guess, right?
It's so good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can hear it for sure. You know, if James Taylor kept going, this is what it would sound like.
So I would say when it comes to being inspired by singer-songwriters like James Taylor, who did it better?
Beck did it better.
Tired of fighting.
Next up, after Oh Baby. Now, this is where you start to think, okay, if Steamroller was a gag and we're just making fun of things, explain this. It's just the same shit.
Yeah, I mean, he probably wanted to play the blues, but like there wasn't really a place for him to do it.
Okay, I gotta stop. I can't take it much more after that. And this one, he needed one more song to get his 20 grand album contract. So this song is called Sweet for 20 G's because he just put together
cool story,
I like it. Yeah.
a couple songs to fill out the album.
Very similar to album, what is it, $4.99 on the list, Here My Dear by Marvin Gaye. But that was a whole album.
That's where he had to do the whole album to get to satisfy the contract,
To pay
or what
his
was it?
ex-wife, yeah.
There we go.
Like Chinese Democracy or whatever? Was that the Guns N' Roses one?
Do you think they were like, listen, this album, okay, we got to come up with one song that's filler. He's like, oh, fuck, I thought that's what Oh Susanna was. Oh, shit, now I got to think of another one. Like, for them to say, like, oh, we need more, and Oh Susanna is on this album, that's wild to me. 100%. Let's get into our very popular, very patented rating system.
Now it's time for everybody's favorite part of the show. The patented and very popular Beck Did It Better rating system. Oh, yeah.
Now, folks, okay, this album, it's great. Fire and Rain, great. Sweet Baby James, like Aaron said, it's a great song. Country Roads, unbelievable. Okay? It also has legitimately a song I will be making fun of for weeks in Oh Susanna. Okay? Every time it came on, I didn't want people to see what I was listening to on my phone. Can you imagine if my headphones came unplugged and I was listening to Oh Susanna at work?
It's not unpleasant though. Like, do you if that song, if you're listening to this album, do you track it or do you let it play?
Track it.
You track it.
Just because I feel corny listening to it.
Aaron, would you track it or let it go?
I'd probably let it play.
I think I'd let it play.
Oh, well, you guys are stronger than me. Is this album, okay, a rolling, well-toned? It is perfect at 182. Oof, going back to Portishead. Is this album rolling grown? Okay, it should not be. What was that play? We should not have listened to this album now. Okay, it should be later on the list. I can't believe it's up here. Or was this a rolling bone? Okay, this should have been right before Portishead. 130, I mean. Get it right up there. Okay, we could have had maybe use this as a launch pad for actually a good Portishead episode, which we're going to do. We're going to redo it. All right, so what do you think, Matt? Rolling well-toned, rolling bone,
why would
rolling
we redo?
grown?
No, don't think we didn't catch that. We're not redoing it yet.
It's Rob's version. I wish I wouldn't have said that, too. You guys are mad at me again.
Rolling grown is the answer. This has got a couple of good songs, but again, once we get to Wildflowers by Tom Petty at 2:14, I mean, that is just like how this is not an album. This is like a couple good songs, that were done in the 70s kind of a thing. And I think we've talked about it enough. How many albums do we need between 1970 and 1974 on this list? There's like a third of them are from that little time frame. So while James Taylor, great artist, great songs, all that stuff, this album is rolling grown. It should be lower on the list.
Aaron, what do you think? Rolling well-toned, rolling bone, or rolling grown? James Taylor?
I love this opening track. I love Fire and Rain. The rest of it, I sort of don't mind having on James Taylor just reminds me of like being a kid, and it's on in the house. So I actually like the album. I don't think it belongs on the list at all, except for Fire and Rain. So I've got to give it a rolling groan.
At all?
I don't understand why it's on the list, except for Fire and Rain. So maybe it does because it has the one great song. But either way, rolling groan for me.
Can I tell you, Aaron, this album reminds me, I had a 5th grade teacher. She loved 2 musical artists. James Taylor, she would play You Got a Friend all the time and then like make us think about it. We'd be like, damn, James Taylor is right. Okay.
It's a great song.
Did not tell us about the heroin part. And then the other song she loved was MC Hammer, Too Legit to Quit. So she would also play that and make us think about it. It was a wild back-to-back.
It's quite a ride.
Teacher-loving, Too Legit to Quit.
Can you name your 5th grade? Can you guys name your 5th grade teachers?
Ms. Toller.
Miss Seaver.
See, Russell, teachers do make a difference, okay? Kids don't just forget the teachers. You said that the other week, and it really is stuck in my craw.
No, technically, I remember everyone through 5th grade and none from 6th through high school. I don't think I could name one teacher from 6th grade to high school.
Especially not in science. No science teachers in middle school at all.
Except for one. Aaron knows this. Do you guys know that we picked a teacher in high school for like our graduation, like a teacher gives a speech, Rob? Mm-hmm. Maybe you've done that before at graduation or something like that.
Maybe I have twice.
So I graduated like a class of like 600-700 kids, and I actually got a shout out from the teacher you're gonna have to bleep out my last name, Aaron, but I appreciate it. So Rob, mark this. Everyone's got to clap. Mark that, Rob. Mark that. So
way to go, Aaron Johnson.
So the teacher knew I was into like the UFC and wrestling and all that stuff. And he gets up on stage and he's hollering at me, yelling my last name, like in front of the whole thing. And he's like, "Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on." Like he did like the whole John McCarthy, "Are you ready? Let's get it on," after calling me out. So
not something you should, that's kind of a Michael Jackson.
And Russell went on to be part of this podcast. And it was a really great thing in his life.
Yeah, that's the only teacher I remember, Rob.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's so hurtful, you guys. That's terrible. That you say
Rob took it away.
That's what spurred him on to become part of this podcast.
Aaron, I did give 2 graduation speeches at 2 different schools. And Aaron, you think I used the same speech for both schools? Yeah, no,
yes.
I did.
Yes, you did.
You know I did. Okay? Reuse it. Work smarter, not harder, my friend.
I am not a part of the podcast that Rob missed having. He only missed having Aaron, Matt, if I remember correctly.
I couldn't think of anything that rhymed with Russ. Sorry.
Actually, technically, John remembered me. John gave me a shout out when he played the harmonica for me.
Good for you.
I know.
I listened until Rob did like an extended blowjob bit where I'm like, okay, we're literally just posting porn at this point. I'm like, I can't.
Okay.
Yes.
Listen, I think it's just us and John listening at this point.
Yes.
It was tough to record a show with somebody who also was me.
Is sick.
You know what I mean? Like there was no governor. Like I would say something, he would say something worse. And I was like, oh no, this is bad because then I'd say something worse. It was literally like a big fish eating a fish, eaten by a bigger fish, except it's all just, sex jokes. Russell, what do you think? Rolling well-toned, rolling bone, or rolling groan?
You guys were mentioning like the great songs of this. I kind of have to take exception. Aaron's saying there's one great song. I think there's 3. I think Sweet Baby James is great. Fire and Rain and Country Road. I think all 3 of those songs are great. So to me, if you've got 3 like all-time crusher songs, I could see why it's on the list. But I think, Matt brings up Tom Petty. I've not been the biggest Bob Dylan fan, but when we talk about like singer-songwriters and I listen to this and then I go listen to some of those Dylan albums, it's kind of in a different world. So I think the 3 songs are amazing. I'm going to say it's a slight rolling groan. I'm glad it's on the list. I'll probably listen to this again, but there's too much of the corny stuff where I'm like, I just don't see how you can put this on the all-time, way up there. So I'm going to say it's rolling groan slightly, but I did enjoy it.
Unfortunately, you guys are incorrect. Okay.
Shit.
No.
This gets a rolling heroin.
Heroin.
Guys, this is one of the biggest heroin albums, except for the one from She-Ra.
What?
She-Ra. She was He-Man's. She was a heroine. Oh.
When you want to hear about the
That's bad that the only heroine I can think of is She-Ra.
What was the one song where the Nico and what's his name?
If you want to hear from guys,
Velvet Underground
and Nico.
That was a big heroin album.
Didn't we have a whole James Brown on the start time or one of those?
Yeah.
Heroin. Yeah.
Better.
We've got a lot of heroin.
By the way, I forgot something. I apologize. Next up, we have an album for when my Italian neighbor nicknamed his son after a bad math test. Oh, D'Angelo. D plus Angelo. He's getting better. Come on.
Oh, that's bad.
Okay, brown sugar.
Bad. It's a very bad joke.
Oh, I love having you guys at the show.
Rob, I was going to say that I took one of those pills you were talking about and I've been looking at some paint samples, but now I seem to have this problem with this drivel. I don't know what to do about it.
If your drivel lasts longer than 45 minutes, you must call a doc. You must write an iTunes review.
You can still impregnate someone with that drivel, so don't.
Pre-drivel is sometimes the strongest
Anybody
drivel.
get near that?
Russell's uncle hates the pre-drivel.
Can you imagine pissing off someone so bad that they leave a 2-star review for you? That is pretty good.
It's brutal. Now, Russell, I just want to circle back real quick. Yeah. You went to somewhere in Georgia called the Pink House.
I did.
I've been there. I had a party of 3.
Yeah.
And they only had a table for 2 in the Pink House. Russell, do you want to guess where I had to go sit by myself?
Where's that?
It's in this Sting House. I saw that one coming from so far away.
No.